no king throughout the show. Well, the weekend's only Dublin derby took place at Talca Park on Friday night. St Patrick's Athletic were the visitors to take on a Shelbourne side who knew that a win could put them top for 24 hours at least.
After failing to break through Derry City's defence at the Brandywell last time out, Shelbourne went in search of goals against St Pat's on Friday night. And they should have had one inside 6 minutes at Talca Park. Richie Baker fed Gary O'Neill, who cleverly evaded Darragh Maguire before teeing up Jason Byrne. What followed was a head-in-the-hands moment, the ace predator miscuing with the goal at his mercy. St Pat's first threat on goal came after 18 minutes. Dave Rogers left Colin Hawkins' header for his goalkeeper, but as Steve Williams dallied over his clearance, Robbie Doyle closed in. The ball ended up in the Shell's net, but Doyle's overeager challenge was spotted by match official Ian Stokes. The visitors defended stoutly as Shells had most of the ball, but after 30 minutes the men from Inchicore were undone. After a corner wasn't properly cleared, Wes Houlihan fed Owen Heary. His first-time ball swept home by Gary O'Neill. The striker was starting in the absence of the injured Glenn Crowe. His first goal of the season was to be due reward for an impressive display. Despite that setback though, Pats were almost back on level terms inside 2 minutes of the restart. Slack defending ended with Doyle beautifully picking out the run of Aidan O'Keefe. Williams to the rescue for the hosts. Shelbourne didn't heed that warning however, and 4 minutes later the sides were level. Dave Rogers has been a model of consistency since signing at Talca Park. This aberration however was pounced on by Keith Dunn, who rounded Williams and slotted home. 36 minutes on the clock, 1-1. Pats would have been happy to take that into the break, but right on the call of half-time, they were behind once again. Wes Houlihan was twice involved, his finish an emphatic one. Buoyed on by that, Pat Fenlon's side almost extended their advantage within 60 seconds of the game's resumption. Williams' long punt was latched onto by Baker, whose controlled touch almost cut out Barry Ryan. A quickly taken corner then yielded a chance at the other end, but after creating space well, Dunn couldn't find a second of the night for him and his side. On the hour, the hosts came within inches of grabbing their third. David Crawley's perfect cross saw Jason Byrne crash his header off the Pats crossbar. Stuart Byrne narrowly wide on the follow-up. The game was killed off as a contest 17 minutes from time. A wonderfully weighted pass from man of the match Houlihan, and this time Byrne didn't miss. A clinical finish from the midfielder who has delighted his manager in front of goal this campaign. This his third goal. After a bad miss in the first 6 minutes of the game, Richie Baker handed Jason Byrne the ideal opportunity to atone 14 minutes from time, but somehow, from inside the 6-yard box, the striker skied his effort over. It wasn't his night. Indeed, the evening was to end on a sour note for the league's defending champions, with the dismissal of Colin Hawkins on 80 minutes. The centre-half inexplicably clashing with Doyle. And while Hawkins' teammates may have felt the Pat striker was making the most of it, on mature reflection, surely no arguments with the referee's decision to brandish the red card.
I thought we were excellent tonight. I thought we played some great football. It's the best we've played so far this season, and probably could have scored a few more goals on a good night. Jason probably could have got 2 or 3, but he's very unlucky on a couple of occasions. He's getting into position, so very pleased with the performance.
You put it down to experience, you put it down to learning, but I think it would have been a different match if we'd went in 1-1 at half time. You know, there'd been a different dressing room there at half time. You know, they got the late goal, the last kick in the first half. A bit hard to take, you know, and the fellas a little bit down at half time, tried to G them up. Thought we'd done well coming out in the second half. Then we give away another sloppy goal. Good finish by Stewie, in fairness to him. We knew about his late runs and we spoke about it a bit before the match and a half time. But, you know, overall, Chel's a better team. They maybe could have got another goal or two. But we got to take the positives out of it as well. Like, we matched them in a lot of the areas of the pitch as well. So, you know, as I said, if we'd went in half time with a draw, it might have been a different match.
For the second home game in a row now, you've lost a player to a straight red card. What did you make of the incident?
I didn't see it. I seen the one with Richie, and I didn't see the one with Colin. I'll have a look around the TV, and when I see it, I'll make my mind up and I'll deal with them.
And what about the reaction afterwards?
I mean, you know, the players are around it, they see it closer to me, but I think both sets of players reacted the same way, you know. To me, that's a good sign. I don't have a problem with that once they don't go over the top.
Indeed, well, plenty of talking points for sure. Noel, you were at that game. Shell's beginning to find a rhythm, and you heard Pat in the interview saying that that's the best his side has played this season.
I'd agree with that. There were patches in the game where they looked like true champions. They were moving the ball well. People were aware of what was expected of them. 1 touch, 2 touch, and they gave Pats a little bit of a roast, and I think the scoreline was a little bit false, to be honest.
All right, well, we can see all the main points very shortly. We'll start with Wes Houlihan, because he was terrific on the night. He's adding to his game, isn't he, really, Wes Houlihan? Now?
He is. He's maturing, there's no question. Anything of note that happened on Friday night, he was involved in. He's a good dribbler. He's getting stronger. He's obviously worked on his upper body. His control is unquestionable. He's a lovely left foot. And as we see later in the game as well, he also has a lovely right foot. There he is, getting it. It's significant here where he lays the ball off. He doesn't get the return from that's his right foot with the goal. But watch it on replay. Watch when he knocks the ball to Jason Bourne. He looks to get it back off him. When he doesn't get it back off him here, the ball goes beyond him. And notice his reaction to the ball that goes beyond him. Like any good player, he's thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead. So he's leaving him. The Pats player doesn't follow him. And it makes it virtually impossible to be picked up when you think that quickly. And that's just a little example of why he's an under-21 international, and why, in my view, he's one of the most outstanding talents in the league.
His passing was great, wasn't it?
He's added his passing, his selection of passing has improved, whereas at times he tended to look for the long ball. He's now picking out the right ball at the right time, and here we have him again. It's a beautiful little chip into Stewie Bourne. I mean, that's a quality goal. That's obviously his first ball was from the defender into the centre forward. He gets it, but what a chip.
Great weight in the pass.
Absolute, just there you go, Stu. Okay, the keeper makes it a little bit easy for Stewie Bourne, but what a finish that is. But again, back to Wes Houlihan, it's him, and it's the selection of the ball, picking him out, and then the delivery of it.
Well, this is a big talking point here now, the sending off of Colin Hawkins.
This is remarkable because it was 3-1 at this stage. You gotta be aware of. Doyle had given, you know, he'd played well all night. He's running around. He's a robust type of player, and you see him here. He does.
There can be no complaints now, really.
No complaints whatsoever.
What about the reactions of the Shells players?
Well, you expect that. I understand what Pat's saying there. You know, you're passionate about the game. If something happens on the pitch, nobody wants to see their own player isolated. The players, I would genuinely believe, don't know what's happened there. I wouldn't say they're all aware, but they see one of their own off their own team. It's all pushing and shoving. There's no punching, there's no kicking, there's nothing serious, but they are standing up for their own players, and you can understand that.
Yeah. And there could have been another sending off in the match as well, Noel, because there was a strong challenge on Caffrey, from Caffrey on Baker, which we're going to see.
I think it's significant. Pats came to Talca Park to try and win the game. They didn't get everybody behind the ball. They had a goal. O'Keefe had a great opportunity early in the game. Williams saved well with his feet. They were adventurous. They chased and they harried, but they were also robust, St. Pat's. And throughout the game, there was various little instances that maybe warranted yellow cards. Maybe on one occasion, a red card, which the referee didn't deem so. And I think that boiled over a little bit, and maybe was part of the reason why people lost their rag near the end.
Okay, well, coming from